Hello, disc golf fans, and welcome back to round 2 back 9 coverage of the 2022 TruBank Des Moines Challenge presented by Discraft. I am Jeremy Koling, joined by Paul Ulibarri. We are BigBarri commentary, and we're big and very happy to bring you the second half of the tournament.
That is right. The second half of the tournament starts with Kyle Klein at 10 under. I'm hanging with him a little bit there at 9 under. We got a 5 under from Tuomas. Chandler, Frye, even, needs to step it up. Back 9, lots of birdies to be had. Let's see what we got. We have a bunch of good scores going on right now. 13's the mark. Can we get there?
If you want to be in the top 10, you have to be at least 10 under to do that at this point in the event. The wind is starting to die down a bit, correct? I'm incorrect in that. Well, never mind then. What I was going to say is canceled. Hole 10, par 5, 844 feet. This is the easiest hole in the course, one that you really feel like a par feels like a bogey in a way. Hyzer shot off the tee. Just getting down to the bottom of the hill is really all you need on the second. You just have to avoid going out of bounds left on your second or out of bounds right on your first. This is very high, but really using that wind to push you back in bounds. Not biting off a ton of distance, but you don't really need to off the tee.
Safe is what you want. You can see that wind right there. It's still ripping. You can see his disc kind of dancing on it.
And that's sizably farther along the fairway.
Okay, save it, Buckaroo. Save it. For somebody who freaking cares, okay?
Yeah, I will.
That is a good shot there from Chandler.
Also just ripping past your drive.
Wonder what Kyle's going to do. Probably rip it past my drive.
No, really, honestly, if you could hit that early tree and still birdie, it shouldn't be out of position at any point unless you just happen to go out of bounds.
I don't want to throw farther because then it's like an awkward layup is my thoughts.
I hear that. I hear that. I feel that. Because that right there, if it gets a little tiny roll, doesn't give you much, but it's still far enough away from that early stuff that the forehand should be pretty accessible.
Chandler with a steeper hyzer, but catches those limbs, got a little up. That's farther away.
Yeah.
That'll leave him some extra cabbage to deal with.
This hole playing a third of a stroke more difficult in round 2 than it was in round 1.
There's a little swoopy skip you're used to seeing down there.
That's what you like. That's getting close to the out of bounds on the left side, but is safe enough that he really wasn't in that much danger. And that shot right there was that height the entire way.
I think his disc stayed on the ground the whole flight.
That was pretty incredible.
Chandler with a forehand, really good.
Nice shot down the bottom of the hill. C1, back 1 of C1. Back edge, I should say. Blind hyzer, that is parked. Nice shot. Was that at all stressful going too tight, maybe?
I knew I had to go tight just because I wanted to stay away from the OB. And if you go like wide, you can hit those branches.
Yeah. Good approach shot from Tuomas, and Kyle will do the same with his tactic.
But yeah, at this point in my skill level has been this year, every shot is stressful. Tight, stressful, wide, stressful, right at it, stressful, low, high.
Chandler doesn't show too much stress when he steps up for his
This is stressful. All I'm thinking is, how could I possibly miss this? You'll figure it out, you Dumbo. But I make it.
Oh. Eric Oakley and I were talking about how the three of us could write an entire memoir of our swing thoughts, and it would be a worse seller. We wouldn't want to sell to anyone, but it would be a very interesting read at the very least.
Very interesting.
As we have a star frame on hole 10, we would expect that from our group, and they deliver. As we take a look at the second hardest hole on the course, which is hole 11, par 4, 721 feet, dogleg left. You really don't want to throw that far off the tee as you go straight down the hill with a low ceiling. From there, you can see the shape of it perfectly here as this drone gives you a really good indication of what you're trying to do. Just get to the bottom of the hill and then go left. That is a very well-placed shot, and that's the Raptor. Not trying to get too far left, just get down to the bottom of the hill.
This kid is a buttery thrower.
A lot of power in that arm. That finish arm from Tuomas Hyytiäinen. Our Finnish audience, please comment if I'm butchering that name.
Tuomas
Hyytiäinen. Hyytiäinen.
Hyytiäinen. I think
Something
I nailed
like
it. Yeah, I think I got it. Hyytiäinen. I did spend 2 rounds with him, so I should be closer than you, but I might not. I also told him that Tuomas is like a deuce.
Tuomas.
2 more.
2 more.
In Spanish, and he said, "Why are you trying to teach me other language?"
Chandler pulls his approach a bit right. That'll be an approach for the par most likely coming up. Meanwhile, Kyle kicks in left, rolls down right. That might not be an easy approach for the par.
Thomas is one of my favorite people I've played with all year. Very fun.
I remember the first time I met him was at the Estonia Open several years ago. He handed me an Excalibur. He said, "These are very understable." He said, "We call them stones." And I said, "Okay." So I just threw this thing with a bunch of hyzer. It's the most overstable disc I've thrown to this day, and him and all of his buddies were just laughing at me.
Was it the fire truck?
It was one of the fire trucks.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And off with the approach is Tuomas. He will also have to find a way to scrap up a par. Good shot there from Kyle.
This hole was giving us fits. I mean, we didn't know exactly what the wind was doing coming through that tunnel. All of our shot, we all had pretty good drives, but we weren't able to really get up towards the green.
Yeah, good approach from Tuomas. That's tough to do sometimes. The anhyzer on that hillside with that slope that you can see. And are we trying to make this one?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I thought laying it up, I'd probably roll away. And so might as well try to go make it if it's going to do that anyway.
I totally get that. Good par save for Kyle. Awkward position after the second. Good work just to get the approach to the edge of the circle. Was that even outside the circle? Was that C2?
I think it was just inside.
But still up the hill for the putt. This group's going to walk away with 4 pars, which is beating the field by 1/3 of a stroke.
Haha. Gotcha.
Gotcha, field. So we go from the easiest hole in the course to the second hardest hole in the course to the second easiest hole in the course, hole 12. Par 3, scratch that 260. I don't really know what they were lasering when they came up with that distance because it's actually about 315 feet, I think, to the bucket, something like that. It's going to be a turnover putter or a forehand with something straight. A little drift with that Raptor. This is a good-looking shot. They caught a little bit on the high left side.
Yeah, cabbage.
Dropped it down. It's going to be obstructed putt from C2. A little bit low there for Tuomas, and Chandler going very understable. This is a Comet. Catching the last limbs there at the corner. And did that stay up top?
And rolled all the way back.
Did it really?
It rolled like 30 feet back.
Oh, tough break for Chandler. And Kyle making it past the rocks. He'll be left right around 22 feet for the birdie. Dude, Chandler is so good from any range. He is putting so well this round.
Bang.
Love it. Jumper coming.
Give that one the full treatment.
Oh, no.
I putted it so bad I made Tuomas miss. Like, that's on my life. That's really what happened. I literally looked away before I even putted. But in reality, my right foot slipped, and that's why it was like,
Okay.
yeah, it like slipped
I
like
don't
out.
think there's anything wrong with giving like people an insight as to what happens in that action when
Yeah.
you putt. Like, it just looks like you just obviously total shanked it, but what happened? I'm more curious about why that happened, because that's not your normal miss.
No, my front. So I stepped with my right foot, but my left foot slipped out, and so it pulled me left.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jesse from Trash Panda, and just for a moment, think about where disc golf is today. Over 1,500 discs have now been PDGA approved, 5 new courses will be installed somewhere around the world today, and a future world champion might be watching her very first YouTube video right now. Disc golf is changing faster than ever, and the stories behind that change must be told. So join me as we explore the unheard stories in disc golf and interview the change makers we don't even know exist yet.
Hole 13, par 3, 333 feet, 101 meters for our
For
finish.
Tuomas? Yeah.
For Tuomas, yeah. Really tight fairway down to this little area where you're going to have to drift it from left to right. Somebody in the comments said, why do you say drift? Quit saying drift. Well, guess what, buddy? Drift, 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 drift. Drift it left to right. I can say whatever I want. Watch my friend here drift it from left to right down in the middle of the fairway.
I think that was actually one of our Australian buddies, Chris Davies. I think. I could be misquoting who that was, but I saw that as well.
Tokyo drift.
I understand what he's saying, but I'm also understanding what you're saying too. Like,
It drifts. It's like
Kyle is hyzering out of bounds, unfortunately. A good looking pace just needs to be about 15 feet wider left.
And here's why I like it. A drift is when a spin is going one way, but momentum's going the other way.
Yeah, sure.
So it is a drift.
No arguments here, as that shot right there I think that's the perfect shot for this hole. Very well done.
Thank you.
A little bit of right to left movement with the forehand. And this is about as good as you're going to really see for any backhand turnover line. Really well thrown from Tuomas. Jeez, Chandler.
Chandler needs
What
to calm it
a
down.
weapon. Just to feel like at any point you're just going to make it.
I know. He is a weapon, too. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He could pummel me.
Yeah, you could use him. Like if you threw him at somebody, that would be a weapon.
Oh, Tuomas.
Not the first putt that Tuomas has putted out of bounds this round, unfortunately. But a good save. Well done on that make.
Yeah, 2 birdie putts. You switch those out. That's 5 shots, man.
Wow. Kyle for his par, up and not in.
1 inch.
Yep, that was very close. Yeah, a little bit of action there. Once the disc reached the center of the chains, sometimes you got to make sure you give it a little bit extra look. Let the disc in the basket know who's boss. And a nice birdie for you, and you are still playing a very clean round. And look at you now at 11 under par. You will be tied with Kyle now.
I'm just trying to beat Chandler.
You have a side bet or something?
No.
Hole 14, par 4, 720 feet. Very difficult to land this one in the middle of the fairway, which is right here where this tree shadow is. From there, it is a straight shot up and across this creek, through the tunnel, and a slope up to the basket all the way up this hill. You're going to see some mid-range thrown off the tee, some fairway drivers, and maybe an occasional forehand dump hyzer. Key is keeping it wide to the right side to avoid the big skip left. Actually, I think you got a little bit of a good break there with the branch.
100%, yeah.
Knocking that down, keeping you straight and in line with the basket. This is very wide, but it might work. Yeah. Don't keep moving.
I think it's far enough that he's going to like it.
Yeah, okay. You just really can't move too much to the left. And you really can't move too much to the right either.
Very specific little fairway we got here. Fairway.
Yeah, I like that play. I haven't tried that yet. I think it's got to be tomorrow's game plan for me. Just to keep it in the middle, give yourself more space to throw your second. What? That was fun.
Yeah, just caught a nice little skip up the hill.
Living clean right now, Paul Ulibarri.
So is Thomas.
Yeah. Couple nice tree directions. And there is a good example of why you can't be off the fairway right. Basically looks the same off to the left. But Chan, look, he cut off a huge amount of distance with that tee.
Yeah, he was way up there.
Wow. Very cool to see. Nice shot.
As soon as I say I want to beat Chandler, birdie's a hole.
Well, you're not out of contention for the birdie yourself.
Did you see my last putt?
Your last putt went in, to be fair.
You know what one I'm talking about.
I know. The one you gave the full treatment.
Good old college try.
Tuomas comes up a bit short and left. And here's your redemption song. I knew you were just building it up. I wasn't gonna fall for it for 1 second. Good putt. And look at that. A very interesting tee shot. Looked like it was going too far left. Gets a little branch down. Second shot comes in with some hyzer. Gets a straight skip. Making a jump putt. That's not gonna stop rolling for a while. And Tuomas wisely runs down there and gets his bag to avoid a courtesy warning or courtesy stroke. That would be an instant penalty stroke, I believe, if it strikes your bag. That is a rough break.
Yes. Rough go at it for sure.
Couple bogeys in a row now for Kyle. This one coming in the double fashion, and that's going to take him from 12 under to 9 under in the last 2 holes. Taking a look at those scores, you can really see how tight the field is right now with Chandler at 3 under par. Meanwhile, you're at 12 under, and look at the difference. You're nearing the top 10, meanwhile, Chandler's nearing in the 80s. And he's only 9 strokes separating the two, and that's a huge gap between those two as we look at hole 15. This par 4 is 600 feet. Not that much distance that you can really get off the tee. Really, the second shot is what makes this hole so difficult. And that is a huge distance cut off, but the roll down the hill really is going to make that second shot very difficult.
I kept rolling in to the woods early with like a stable disc, so I was like, hey, if I'm going to roll in the woods, I'm going to smack it up there.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
Take as much distance off as you can. Chandler puts a really nice move on that one. Tuomas with a nice drive. Not getting as far left as you and Chandler, but still in the middle of the fairway. Meanwhile, Kyle is running into another issue early with the high tee shot. If he's going to get aggressive, this is going to have to be wide right for a long time.
It is wide.
It's just that distance. I mean, he was pushing 430.
Probably 4.
You think?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't measure it from up there, but it doesn't seem that far. But it could be. It plays farther than you think.
It's very difficult, especially with this slope. Oh my goodness, what a gem from Tuomas. Great approach, matching the slope of the hill perfectly. The pace was perfect. The angle was perfect. The result is birdie. This is going to have more angle than the hillside, and that's what you see right there. You almost have to land on the Anheuser angle to force the issue to land flat. This is a lot of trust out wide. Wow, Paul, what a shot, my man. And you're starting to really feel it right now. It looks like that, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm landing in some nice spots, able to...
I would not call that a nice spot where you just were.
I'd rather be left, honestly, than kind of looking right at it, because then you can just go straight hyzer over the stuff. And...
Chandler didn't really have much. Quick effort, got kicks left. Meanwhile, you're picking up your third birdie in a row, and you've done that a few times this round.
Couple birds here and there, you know.
Yeah, I do know. 7 down in the last 9 holes. And this birdie will get Tuomas to 6 under total for the event.
Pretty good.
Yeah, hanging in there with a good score.
Hole 16. R3. 315. Hardest hole on the planet.
Yeah. It plays...
Baby hyzer down here. Miss all these trees. Pump the brakes down here where the mulch is, which usually makes you go faster. Basically it.
I don't see the percentage of OBs. I don't think it shows it here on the UDISC page, but it's high. If you throw a good shot, you're inbounds 50% of the time, out of bounds 50% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this shot. This looks pretty good, and it is.
But
A
it's
foot
so
right,
close.
a
Yeah.
foot right of that is out of bounds. This is a good looking shot. If it misses that tree in the middle, that would have been rolling the dice if it did, though. No telling.
Yeah. You never know. Could have gone in. Could have gone in
Yep.
in the drink.
This is the wider line, and those are the wider trees.
Honkers.
Full throw in the second. This can be scary, and oh boy. The clean round is most likely coming to an end for you on the 16th.
I want to make that, dude. Have a little faith in your boy.
The clean round has officially ended now that I know you've said that to me.
You don't know me, dude.
I don't. You've been one of my best friends for 11 or 12 years, and I still don't know you.
Oh, what's up? You right. Gosh, this hole gets me.
And it gets a lot of people every time.
Back-to-back bogeys for me on it.
Back-to-back birds now for Tuomas on the last 2 holes. That's getting him to 7 under par. And just when you think Paul's going to shoot a 10 under, hole 16.
Goes in bogeys.
Let me in my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time on my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My God up on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now.
Looking at hole 17, this par 3 is 235 feet. Only one way to play it. Go up this gut, either a backhand or a forehand, but there's really no special routes, no way to cheat this gap. You got to throw the straightest shot of the round right here on the 17th.
Short, compact swing right there. That is gorgeous.
That's how you teach it. Very well thrown. Great result coming for Tuomas.
Comet, man.
This is an ace run. Oh!
Not anymore.
Just a birdie run.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Grand Rapids special here for Kyle Klein. Very well thrown. And this is the flippiest Raptor, I think, in the Raptor Kingdom. Look at this set of drives. Nothing was really even close to hitting a tree except for Chandler's ace run. Wow, well done from this group. I haven't seen any card have this much success on the 17th.
Yeah, surprising star frame. Usually a couple go down
I mean, it is
early.
It's only the fourth. It's the fourth easiest, but that's just because you're not going to run into devastating scores on it.
Yeah.
You're going to get some birdies on the card. Every card's going to have at least one person that gets through, but very rarely do all four. And we are about to finish up round 2 here, looking at hole 18, par 5, 1,080 feet. That officially makes it 30 feet longer than hole 12 at Northwoods Black, which is crazy to think. But open tee shot, you get to really throw it as far as you want to. The landing zone off the tee is really up to the player. The really main thing you're trying to do is get past the bush. It's about 700 feet off the tee after your second shot.
It's tough. It's uphill the whole way.
Yep.
The tee pad's kind of slanted uphill. Chandler rips.
Chandler does rip.
See?
Does that put him in an awkward position being off to the right at all?
The fact that he rips or the fact that he's right?
The fact that he's off to the right, not the ripping part.
I think he's going to be okay. I don't remember.
Kyle is turning this one well up the fairway, and that the tree that he just passed there is the one that I'm concerned about for Chandler's second. But we will see in a moment. And that is just fine. Not much trouble you can really run into off the tee. Tuomas just a little bit low, and that forces him to try to really buck up and get a lot of distance on the second, which causes him to turn it over into the woods. This is looking like high quality H2O minus that tree. Still in birdie position. Yes or no? You're upset about the tree. I'm upset about the tree too. That is a great shot from Chandler. That corner is where a lot of shots end up getting into that tree line, but Chandler just avoids going in. And that's the tree line that we're talking about. Just skating around the outside edge.
Tough shot from there.
Yeah, the angle is going to be very awkward.
Sidearm, probably.
And decent pitch out for Tuomas. decision time, and it looks like green light go, ripping at the pin. Or trying to. That was a good effort from back there, honestly. That had some potential if it misses that corner. But should be a fairly easy par save now. Meanwhile, Chandler's got a lot of angle turned over on this approach. That's a good shot. He's going to have a look inside the circle or around the circle's edge for the birdie.
Kyle with a zinger.
And this will be in a similar spot to Chandler's. And Tuomas looking to end his round with a approach and a putt to finish at 8 under total, and I think he's given himself a pretty good chance of doing that. Pretty amazing to think that those 2 putts cost him 5 strokes. He really could have had a very special round going on right now.
Yes. Chandler told me he'd give me $50 if I made that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
But I told him, give me 20 and I'll miss it.
That's smart of you. Left side chains for Kyle. He's going to finish his day at 10 under. Chandler off the chains. He did miss a couple this round, but I think he made up for those 2 misses with some really nice long makes.
Lots of putting woes on the 18th, man.
Yeah.
Bummer to see from my card mates. I thought they were all going to make them.
Mm-hmm.
None of them made them.
No. But that is a solid 8 under moving day round for you to climb the leaderboard ranks, moving up several spots after the starting 5 under.
Yeah.
So there are our scores for our second feature group. 13 under is your total, and that puts you in a tie currently for 7th place. As we see Evan Smith with a 10 under second round, and he is going to be our leader heading into the final round. Robert Burridge, Joel Freeman, and Simon Lizotte rounding out our last round lead card. If you had those picked on your UDISC or on your Grip 6 Pick 6, you're winning this week.
So those graphics went up before one Paul Macbeth came in with a 12 under par.
Yes, the course record 12
Yes.
under par. So that's what we're not seeing because you're currently in 9th.
I'm in 9th, yes.
Okay. So either way, we've got the leaderboard is still, as we just showed right there, with Robert Burridge and Evan Smith making, which has got to be their first ever final round Elite Series lead
That's gonna
card.
be interesting round to commentate on for sure. I don't think I've ever seen either of those two play.
I've played a lot with Evan. He's a great player from my area. Robert Burridge, a very smooth player. Simon Lizotte is going for his potential 3rd Elite Series win this season. Joel Freeman never winning an Elite Series. He's going to be in contention going in, as well as several others. Join us for round 3 tomorrow.